Hello and welcome to lesson 1.2. Today we're going to look at exponents and order of operations. This is the first part, or the part 1 video. In 1.2 we're going to look at simplifying and evaluating expressions and formulas, and also look at simplifying and evaluating expressions containing grouping symbols. So before we get started, the first thing we have to understand is what an actual power is, because we're going to be talking about this here shortly. So a power has a couple different components. First of all, it has what we call an exponent. The exponent is a number that tells us how many times a number, which in this case is going to be the base, is used as a factor. So you can see that our exponent in the example down below is this number 4 right here. So it's kind of a small number, it's raised kind of up in the upper right corner. Then we have our base, and the base is the bigger number, okay, of our power. And then the power itself is this whole thing. So the 3 is our base, the 4 is our exponent, and then the whole thing together makes up our power. Now what this really means is I'm going to take the base and multiply it by itself the number of times that the exponent tells me. So this here means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. And if you recall, we've discussed the order of operations in previous math courses, but we like to use the acronym PEMDAS. Remember that in PEMDAS, the P really stands for parentheses or grouping symbols. E is really our exponents. And then the M and the D, now I did write it like this down here because you have M, and then I'm going to put in parentheses D. This is really our multiplication and division. And remember that this is going to occur in the order that you approach it from left to right. Okay, and we'll talk about that here in a second. Likewise, we also have addition, and I'm going to put subtraction in parentheses because this is addition and subtraction. And again, you're going to approach the addition and subtraction pieces in the order that they occur from left to right. So if I give you something like 3 minus the quantity of 2 times 4 plus 1, order of operations tells me that I have to do the 2 times 4 first because it's in parentheses. So this becomes 8, and I'm going to bring everything else down. So I have 3 minus 8 plus 1. Now I'm left with a subtraction and addition. Because these are on the quote-unquote same playing field, okay, or they can be used interchangeably, I'm going to do the operation that comes first as I go from left to the right. So what that means is I'm really going to go and I'm going to take the 3, and I'm going to go 3 minus 8, which is a negative 5, and then I'm going to add the 1, and now I can simplify everything to get that negative 4. So now when we look at example 1, we are told to simplify. Please remember that you must show me the work. Okay, so to show the work for this one, I see that I have an exponent, and you may even want to write that PEMDAS at the top of your paper. Okay, so I'm going to simplify my exponent first, which is 3 squared, or 9. I'll be adding that, and then I have a multiplication here, which is 16. So really, I have 25 minus 16 plus 9. When I simplify this, I end up with 18. Likewise, when I come down to the next part, I'm going to do my exponents first. So 5 cubed is 125, plus I have to simplify that 90 divided by 10 because division needs to be done first. So this is going to be 9. So 125 plus 9 is going to give me 134. For example 2, I can see that I have a set of parentheses that I need to simplify first. So I have 15 times 13 minus 7 is going to be 6. And that we're going to divide by 8 minus 5, which is 3. I need to simplify the multiplication first. So 15 times 6 is 90. And then I have to divide that by 3. And when I take 90 and I divide it by 3, I end up with an answer of 30. For the second example, I'm going to simplify my parentheses first. So this is going to give me 8. I have divided by 2 plus, now inside of my parentheses, I have an exponent, so this is going to give me 25 minus 3. So now I have 8 divided by 2 plus 25 minus 3 is really 22. The next order of operation I have to do then would be to do the division. So 8 divided by 2 is 4 plus 22 will actually give me an answer of 26. For example 3, we're told to simplify. So I'm going to start out in the innermost parentheses, which in this case is going to be the 13 minus 7. So this is going to give me 2 times 13 minus 7 is going to give me 6, but then I'm going to have to square that. And then I'm going to take that answer and I'm going to divide it by 3. So when I simplify this, I end up with 2 times 6 squared is going to be 36 divided by 3. So now I have 2 times 36 divided by 3 is really 12. And when I multiply that 2 and 12, I end up with 24. For the second part, I'm going to do the same thing. I have to start out with the innermost parentheses. So 2 squared is going to give me 4, and I'm going to add 1 to that. So when I start simplifying, I have 5 times a quantity of 4 plus 3 times 4 plus 1 is going to give me 5. So when I simplify this, I have 5 times 4 plus 15, which is really going to give me 5 times 19. And 5 times 19 is going to give me 95. And finally, for the bottom one here, I have 2 plus 8, which is going to give me 10. Sometimes this fraction bar here kind of serves as a set of parentheses if you want to think about it like that. So we need to simplify the numerator, then go and simplify the denominator, which is 5 minus 3 or 2. Then we can divide from top to bottom. So 10 divided by 2 in this case would be 5. On that note, if you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great day.